Hi everybody and welcome to Story Time with Annie. Today I'm actually going to read and tell you a story from a book called Birbal the Genius. I'm sure many of you know about the Mughal Emperor Akbar. Today's story is about one of his witty ministers known as Birbal. The Hindu minister was actually very smart and very clever, and this is one of my favorite stories I thought I'd share with you. Once upon a time in Agra, there was a potter who lived next to a washerman. Now the potter made pots all day long, and he made beautiful pots, big pots, small pots, tiny ones, flat ones, round ones, all sorts of pots, and his work was a really heavy one. Once he made the pots, he put them out to dry. Next door to him, there was a washerman who had a donkey, and what he did was every day he washed clothes all around the place, and he made sure that once the clothes were dry, he folded them, put them on his donkey, and he took them out so that he could, give them back to the people who have given them to him for washing, and he could earn money. In this way, the potter sold his pots and the washerman sold all his services for washing clothes in order to make sure that he earned money. One day what happened was the washerman's donkey came running straight in, and he broke some of the best pots that the potter had made. The poor potter was in such a dismay, he got very angry at the washerman. He said, "Look at this, your donkey has broken all my best pots. You have to compensate me." Now, what does the word compensate means? Compensate means to pay in kind. For in this case, the washerman's donkey has destroyed the pots that the potter made. Therefore, the potter lost money for the pots because they were already broken. He couldn't sell it. So the washerman decided to compensate, to pay in kind. So what he did is he checked on what was the price of the pots, and he took the money and he paid the potter, saying that, "I'm sorry that my donkey has done this. I'm paying this to you. It is my donkey's mistake. I'm sorry." Now the neighbors who were around, who saw this and said, "Yes, he's a true gentleman, the washerman. His donkey has done all these things," and he made sure that the potter was compensated. But the potter, you see, he was not really very happy. He thought, this washerman, he's making a fool out of me in front of my neighbors. All my neighbors are thinking that he's a great man. He's not a great man. His donkey stole my pots. I'm sorry. His donkey broke my pots, and therefore I feel very angry about this. So he thought of a plan. The next day he came in to meet Emperor Akbar, and he decided to put his plan out. So when he came in, I'll read this for you so that it's interesting for you to read. So he came in to see the emperor, and the moment he came in, he said, "Jahapana," that is how you address the king when you greet him at his court. He said, "Jahapana, a friend of mine has just returned from Persia. He says you are famous in the land. He says that the people there hold you in high esteem." The word high esteem means to keep a high regard or to think very greatly of somebody. So the potter actually told the king of how great the people of Persia thought of him. And the emperor was very happy. However, now the emperor stopped. He's like, Did the potter say however? So I should listen more to it. He said, "What is it? Tell me, my man, what is it?" "Jahapana, the people of Persia think very poorly of the elephants of Agra." So now the emperor is puzzled. He's like, "Our elephants? Why do they think poorly of our elephants? Our elephants are the best in the country." "Well, Jahapana, they say that our elephants are grey and dirty and black. The king of Persia has a stable of elephants, and his elephants look white, spotlessly white." Now the king was curious. "Really? How does he do this?" "Oh, he has a team of people who are actually washing his elephant." So the king was like, something's very fishy here. "Okay, please continue. So how would you propose we keep our royal elephants to be beautiful so that everybody thinks that, they're well kept?" "Oh, king, we will have to have a washerman do this for us. My neighbor is the best launderer in the country. Actually, he's the best around. Why don't I recommend him to you?" So now Akbar is the emperor, right? He was pretty smart about this. So he thought about this and he said, "Oh, so he's out to corner his neighbor. Interesting." He said, "All right, call him." have him summoned. So the washerman was summoned to court. To be summoned means to be ordered royally. Okay, you have a royal order, you're royally commanded to come to court. So the washerman was summoned to court. He came in and the king said, and he said, Japana, how can I be of service to you? So the king says, I heard that you're the best washerman in the country. I want you to launder my elephants. Within a week, they should be completely white. Now the washerman, he got the biggest surprise of his life. Can you ever wash an elephant or any animal and make it white if it's not white? You can't. And now the washerman knew that he was in trouble. He was in trouble. And he was like, but Jahabana, what do you mean but Jahabana? You have to make the elephants white. You have 1 week to do this. The poor washerman, he was at his wit's end. He had no idea on how to make the elephants look white. So he washed and he tried his level best. He used the best things available, the soaps, the detergents, everything available to him. But no matter how he washed the elephants, they looked the same color. They did not change color. The washerman went home after 2 days, worried and sick, because he knew that the emperor was going to have him killed, and his family too, if the order was not obeyed. In those days, whatever the emperor said had to be done up to word. If anything was wrong, you're going to be punished. The washerman walked home, downcast, sad, and upset. To be downcast means to be upset. Okay? So when he was walking by, Akbar's minister, Birbal, was walking by and said, my good man, what's wrong? Why are you looking so sad? So Birbal often helped people out in the village. If there were things that the emperor was doing or there were things that were not correct, he always made sure that he actually helped the people. He was a person that the people enjoyed meeting. So he said, oh, what can I tell you, Sahib? I'm in big trouble. You see, the potter recommended my name to the king, and he told the emperor that I could wash his elephants and make him white. But no matter how I tried, it is not possible, and I'm going to be punished for it. So Birbal thought for a while and said, my good man, there is a simple answer to this. So the washerman was very surprised. He was like, there's a simple answer to this? Sahib, tell me, what is the answer? It's like, there is a simple way to this. Let me explain. This is what you need to go and tell the emperor. So the next day, the washerman went in and said, King, I do not have the essential things in order to make the elephants white. What I need is a big clay plate or tumbler or something that the elephants can stand in order to wash them well. And when I do this, they will turn white. So the king was like, that's interesting. He never thought of that one before. Now he was curious. What is the washerman going to do to save himself? And then he's like, okay, so what do you want? What would you like? It's like, King, can you give an order for a big clay plate to be made so that all the royal elephants can stand in it and we can have them washed? So the king agreed. He said, okay, so how do you propose we do this? He said, oh, the potter next to my house, he's a brilliant potter. I think we can call him for the services. It's interesting, right? How is the washerman going to get out of this situation with a clay plate? Now that is something for you to find out by joining me in my class. Join me with Stories with Anney, which is happening all through the week. Book your slots in and we can hear more stories about Birbal and some more interesting stories of how he managed to help people all across. There are more stories with me, but join me for the class.